welcome to another episode of Ignite Rewind. My name's Pastor Aaron Bear, known as PA, and I'm the student pastor of Fresh Fire Student Ministry, and we're the youth ministry of the Ashland Church of God here in Ashland, Virginia. And today in this episode, I want to talk more about the power of flesh. Now, in previous episodes, we've learned that in Galatians 5:17, that the spirit man, the part of us that wants to do God's will, and the flesh man, the part of us that wants to do our own thing, are constantly fighting. They don't agree. And then we learn from Paul in Romans chapter 7, 21 through 24, and I want to read that to you. It happens so regularly that it's predictable. The moment I decide to do good, sin is there to trip me up. I truly delight in God's commands, but it's pretty obvious that not all of me joins in that delight. Parts of me rebel, and just when I least expect it, they take charge. I've tried everything and nothing helps. I'm at the end of my rope. Is there no one who can do anything for me? Isn't that the real question? So here we see Paul, one of the early fathers of the early church, and Paul is saying, look, I love God. I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. But there's parts of me at times that kind of get out of line and does its own thing, jumps out and tries to trip me up and cause me to fall in my relationship with God. And Paul is saying, I'm working hard. How do I overcome this? I'm trying everything. I'm going to church. I'm praying. I'm reading my Bible. What am I to do? That's where God's got to come in and help. See, you can't get it back in line. God has to get it back in line. And that means we got to humble ourselves and let God move. Well, today I want to talk about an issue that trips up a lot of people, and that is anger. Now, I find this to be very interesting that Christian counselors report that 50% of the people that come in to see them come in because of anger issues. They don't know how to deal with their temper. And we know that anger can tear up relationships. Anger can, disrupt communication. You can't have a civilized conversation when you're angry or someone else is angry and just boiling off a bunch of steam. We know that anger can be a bad thing. We know that anger has destroyed nations. Anger has destroyed homes. Anger has destroyed relationships. Anger's bad, but not all anger is bad. There is good anger. There is actually godly anger. We see Paul got angry at Cephas in Galatians chapter 2 because of a bad example he was setting. Jesus got angry in John chapter 2 when the people were disrespecting God's temple, or basically the church. Then he got angry in Mark chapter 3 when the religious people were being all judgmental. So there is good anger. And we know that in the Greek that there's two words that gives us our English word of anger. And the first one means to agitate or to, boil, to get someone really going. And this type of anger is not good because it causes us to bottle up our emotions. And we, in doing that, we have resentment and bitterness. And at the wrong time, this anger comes out. It's like an avalanche. And man, it just floods people and it covers them. And that's where relationships are damaged and a bigger problem is created. This type of anger, it can cause us to be selfishly motivated. It's no longer about others, it's all about us. This type of anger causes us to lose focus of God's big picture. We get distorted with God's plan. This anger is not good because it doesn't cause us to move to, find a solution to the problem. But it causes us to retaliate and to attack people. The issue is not people. The issue is the problem. And the problem is that Satan is trying to destroy your life. And Satan is trying to get in the middle of you and whoever you have that relationship with. But the other meaning to the word anger is defined as having a passion or to be driven by energy. There's a type of anger that should create a passion in us and give us such an energy that it is driving us to a solution for a problem. problems like bullying, problems like poverty, problems like injustice, problems like sexual trafficking and child trafficking, problems like immorality, drug abuse, underage drinking, sexual immorality. We should have a godly anger that drives us to solve these problems. Okay? And how do we go from ungodly anger to godly anger? By, number one, recognizing that we have an anger issue and taking it before God and saying, God, I have an ungodly anger. It's causing me to hurt people and not to solve the problem. I need you to forgive me and help me to seek forgiveness from those individuals. And then we got to make room for God to come in and to do a work in our lives and to help us to transition from ungodly anger to godly anger. And then to get there, we've got to stay current. We can't let things build up. If someone has ticked you off or made you mad, don't just try to sweep it under a rug. Go to them. Be an adult about it. Have some maturity. Have respect for them. And talk it out. See it from their perspective and help them to see from your perspective. A lot of times, a lot of problems can be solved if people will be honest and communicate with respect. A lack of communication causes bigger problems. And then we also see that we have to act and not react. To go from ungodly anger to godly anger means that we just don't react to the issue, but we take time to think about it, process it, and seek God, and then we act on it. We act the way God would want us to act. It's all about God. It's all about bringing glory and honor to God. See, there's problems in this world, and we know that. But as long as we allow the power of the flesh to control us and allow anger to get out of line, run up ahead and cause us to stumble and fall, we're never going to bring a solution to the problem. God gave us an anger so that we could bring solutions to problems, not create bigger problems, not to bring division, not to bring bickering and fighting and gossiping and ridiculing. God gave us anger so that we would become passionate and it would drive us with energy to solve problems. Listen, you cannot control what happens to you. But what you can control is how you're going to act. I can't control everything that has happened in my life. And there has been some bad and messed up things that have happened in my life. But what I can control is how I'm going to act to it. Either I can get angry and just fly off the handle and lash out at the people that have hurt me and just hold this weight on me and let it build up, and sooner or later an avalanche is going to flood out on everybody around me. Or I can act in a manner, go to God and say, God, I'm making room for you to work, to heal my heart. I'm giving you these emotions that I have. And God, transform me into the image of your Son, Jesus Christ, so that I could be driven with a godly anger, with a passion to bring a solution to the problems that I'm facing. It's your choice. How are you going to act? Are you going to let the flesh run out in front of you and trip you up in your walk with God? Or are you going to let God get it back in line so that you can go forward into your purpose and destiny? It's your choice. Let me leave you with 4 things. Number 1, you got to know the truth. And the truth is God created anger for you to be passionate about seeking a solution for the problems that not only you face, but that we all face. God gave you anger to move you in a passion to reach your family, friends, and those around you. You shouldn't be angry that your dad left you. You should be angry that Satan made him believe that he'd be better off leaving you. You shouldn't be angry that your friend is an alcoholic. You should be angry that Satan got your friend to believe that alcohol was the solution to his problem. Don't be angry at the people. Be angry that the devil is deceiving those around you and causing them to sin and causing them to go down a lie, go down a road of deception. Don't get angry at people. Get angry at the devil and let that anger drive you. Let that anger create a passion in you to go out, share the truth of Jesus Christ, and to bring a solution to those problems. Someone's being bullied. Don't be angry at the bully. Reach out to the bully in love and stand up for your friend. You got to live the life. Be a disciple. Focus your anger on a solution that will bring attention to God. The Bible says in everything we do, let us do it all for the glory of God. Let that anger drive you to a solution. Let it be a source of solution. So that when people look back, they're like, wow, man, your God is awesome. Share the hope that godly anger is a good thing when we cover it with prayer and the Holy Spirit. That's the message. Godly anger is good when God is in it. We've covered it in prayer and it drives us to a solution. Finally, show the love. Serve people by, number one, asking God to forgive you for ungodly anger. Number two, seeking those that you've hurt and offended and asking them to forgive you for having ungodly anger. Then turn that ungodly anger to godly anger so that a difference is being made. Guys, listen. Get the flesh back in line and go forward with God. Once again, I'm Pastor Aaron, and I want to thank you for watching this episode of Ignite Rewind. And I want you to know that Fresh Fire Student Ministry is a place where students can start over. If you're in the Hanover area and you're from the ages of 13 and up, I encourage you to come and check out Fresh Fire Student Ministry. You can find more information about our schedule and what we got going on here on our website. And if you're not in the Hanover area, and if there's anything that we can do for you or help you pray about, please contact us. We're here to help make a difference in your life.